Hey guys, this is just a quick little tutorial video on how to set up your computer for streaming Dota 2 and casting it. Different things like that. Setting up overlays, making sure Dota 2 is set up right, and just little things along the way that some people might have trouble with finding or not sure where to go and look and different things like that. So with that, I'm gonna get underway. Start with the basics. Program I use is OBS. Find it simply searching it up. Go to here. And once you agree to the terms and services, just go ahead and download it and install it like any other normal file. I've already got it set up for this tutorial. Oh, nope. And so what I'm going to be showing you is how to set up the scenes in order to capture Dota 2. Right now, as you can see right here, a little bit bigger, is there's nothing right now. So if you hit preview stream, blank screen, nothing happens at all. So it's out of the way. In order to capture a scene, you want to have your Dota 2 running. Fire it up. And we're going to go through some settings here in Dota 2 before we continue on to OBS stuff. You want to run Dota 2 in full screen windowed mode. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be full screen, but you want to run it in the borderless window mode. And well, there's also a handful of things with the console I'm going to show you. So just go into your Dota 2 settings, over to audio and video, and over here, select the borderless window option. Mine's already selected, and then you just hit apply resolution. You want to make sure you take note of whatever resolution you're running this in. So if your monitor is 1920 by 1080, just like mine, that'll cover the entire screen. Whereas if I set it to something a little bit smaller, just showing this, notice how it kind of cuts off the edges around here. Kind of acts a little funny. So make that back to the full screen. Apply the resolution. Now just Alt-Tab back to OBS, and you want to set up a source. Now sources are where it's going to be drawing the information that you want to stream from. So it's usually you just want to go window capture for this. You can call it whatever you want, Dota, and then it'll bring up the window so you can see exactly what you want to capture. So you hit OK, and then you can preview the stream, and you get this really funky double entendre kind of overlay thing. I'm running two versions of OBS, so you get this weird little bit there, but if you take a look at it, get rid of that. Don't worry. Either way, it'll show up like that. But nonetheless, once you've got that set up, that one, I'm gonna go through and check, make sure the properties are set up right. You want it to set to inner window. Now, if you have it set to outer window, it won't completely fill the screen. It'll be a little iffy on that. So make sure it's set to inner window, and you'll be able to Dota 2. Now, once you've got Dota 2 running in window mode like this, nothing should pop up over top of it, and that should be all we need right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple more scenes, just for some things coming up. And I'm gonna also add Dota 2. And just labeling obviously just helps out a little bit. So see, they're all the same right now, but we'll get to that later. So for now, as far as audio goes, you can go ahead and take a look at this. You want to make sure whenever you're about to go live in Dota TV, you want to make sure you've got open mic on. And if you have a code broadcaster and you have a partner who's going to be streaming with you, a co-caster, make sure that you've got this checked if you're using a third-party program like Skype, RaidCall, Razer Comms, Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, Mumble, whatever. If you're using one of those to talk, make sure you've got this checked, but both of you have open mic. Otherwise, people in Dota TV won't be able to hear you, or everybody will be hearing you echo through your partner twice, and you'll be hearing them twice as well. So it'll cause some issues that way. As far as options, usually you want to have your camera set all the way back in both directions there, and it just makes everything a little bit smoother. So as far as right now, that's all I'm going to show you right now. We'll be back in Dota 2 in a little bit, and some of the stuff. Oh, another thing to note is you make sure you turn off EdgePad, especially if you have a second monitor and you're going to be going in either clicking on OBS, Twitch chat, whatever you're going to be doing on a second monitor. If you have EdgePad selected, what's going to happen is whenever you go over to the other monitor, the camera's just going to sway that way, and you won't be able to. Everybody watching is just going to see something like looking at the trees on the. So usually want to make sure that's checked off. But for now, that's all we need. So go ahead and close Dota 2, and I'll bring back up. Yes. And as you can see right now, it's just a blank screen because Dota is no longer open. And as you see right here, this is where your volume options are. So you can adjust the volume. This is the volume of your microphone, and this is the volume of everything else. I'd play some music, but I'm not sure what's copyrighted. So unfortunately, we'll just have to kind of take it for granted right now. But basically, as you can see, I've got them adjusted down because my microphone comes through very loudly through OBS, and just the different settings I have set up in Windows. And so what I've done is I've tweaked this so that when I'm talking and whoever my co-caster is talking, this line right here lines up the same on both when we're just talking in an phone. That way the audience doesn't have to like either turn it down and barely hear the one person, but when the other person talks, it's like they're screaming. So that's what that is. If we go into the settings, general settings don't really touch anything here. Encoding. So as you can see, this is kind of important. On the OBS website, there is a, if I can find, there is a OBS software stream settings estimator. So you enter in all of your stuff, your, like say internet test speed, I don't know, let's go with like 1000 just for, so it'll give you a recommended settings, set FPS to all this, CPU power, all that, recommended bitrate and buffer size. So if you want to stream, I stream a little bit higher than that. My net is a little bit better than that. I don't know it off the top of my head, as terrible as that is, but nonetheless. So this is basically, to put it in layman's terms, it's how good it looks. And you want them to stay the same. Unless you really know what you're doing, you want them to stay the same. But if you really know what you're doing, you're not watching this tutorial. So I've got them set to 2000, and I can stream at about 3500, which is about just shy of 1080p. Now that sounds really great, but the problem is on Twitch, because there's always a little bit of lag from when it goes from your computer to the Twitch servers, from the Twitch servers to whoever's watching. It can slow it down a fair bit. And the problem is because I'm not partnered on Twitch. If you're not partnered on Twitch, everybody has to view you in source. So I had to set my source quality to a point where most people can watch it and it still looks good. So this is just my happy medium right here. And that's taken a lot of tinkering and stuff like that, but it's not hard to do. You just open up a stream of some random game, take a look at your chat, or take a look at your Twitch stream, get somebody else to watch it, see what it looks like. Really easy. Broadcaster settings. This is where you put your stream key. You can find that on Twitch. I will pull that up right now. So I go to Twitch, and then go down here to your profile. Over here to this. Then channels and videos. I believe it is. I've forgotten now. Embarrassing. Action. Oh, there we go. Broadcast. Advanced setting. Um. Okay. Dashboard. So I'm not going to show it because then people will be able to stream to on my Twitch channel, but you just show key and it'll give you a big long key. You just copy it and then paste it into that and it'll open up. You just paste that in right here, and then the delay, standard delay on a competitive game is 2 minutes. You want to make sure that's set to 120 seconds. And now that's going to make it look a little weird because when you start to stream, you're down here, you've got how many kilobytes you're transferring. And now this is set to preview, so it's just showing that for now. It doesn't right now. But this is your frames per second, dropped frame. So if you ever see this going up, something's going wrong and you got to check it out. But when you hit that stream button, you won't see any kilobytes per second being transferred. What OBS is doing is it's storing it as a backlog for 2 minutes, and then it's letting it go. And this kilobytes per second uploaded will not start counting until it's reached the Twitch servers. So it'll be about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, more or less, before you start seeing any of this. So don't panic if nothing's happening. Just give it some time, and before you restart trying to restart the stream or anything like that, it'll be all good. Back into the settings. That was broadcast settings. Now video. I've got it scaled down a little bit, and again, this is to make quality. So no, I'm not quite streaming in full 1080p. I'm streaming at 864 because why not? And it makes it look sharper in Twitch, and so that's a lot of the settings you just kind of have to tinker with till you find what's right for your setup. I use 35 frames per second, and audio. Audio is just make sure you've got your right stuff selected, so it will go through the headset that you're using, or if you have a headset and you have a studio microphone, you can use switch your microphone device as well here. Basic stuff, hotkeys or whatever, advanced. I would recommend not touching it here unless you really want to higher quality stream, a little more production value and stuff like that. But for the basics, like I'm showing you guys, you don't need to worry about any of that. That's it for the settings. Now, as far as setting up Dota 2 streams so that they look a little nicer and have a little more production value to them, if that's something you're interested in, I'll show you what I've got from mine. So I go here and I've made this overlay. And as you can see here, this is a transparent image box right here. So that will show through and that will show the draft. Sorry, not the draft. That will show the lobby. That's the word I'm looking for. And I've also gone and I've hotkeyed these. This is the one I've made for the draft, and then this is just a little logo I've made for the game. So that shows up right between the hero portrait and the mini map. I can switch through all these using the hotkeys that I've set up for them, which you simply do by setting hotkey 1 and then going through the list. I use my 1 through 3 on the number pad, and I use the same 1 through 3 for all of my different scenes. So I've for this one in preview, it's similarly set up and all that stuff. I've got a bunch of. Now, anything more advanced, you'll have to work out on your own, but that's just the basics for it. I'm going to show you now how to go ahead and add those. So we've already got Dota added. You can preview the stream. Right now, there's nothing showing up. Fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and add an image here. So again, that's just right-clicking, add, click image, call it the waiting screen. And then you can go through, and you can also adjust the opacity of it if you want. Go into the file where I've got them, double click it, hit OK, and it pops up. Now, if your image is a different resolution, like say it's something like this, and it pops up like that, and you're not sure what to do, you can right click on the image after you've got edit scene selected, so you can unselect and then you can't click on anything. Select it, click and drag it around. You can go to position and size, and there's a fit to screen option here. So do that. You can set the size, but this is its default size, so it won't do a whole lot for that. Now that's all I've got there. This one, again, it's just the same thing. Want to add, go ahead and add it, and then add the draft screen, okay, and it opens up just fine. Now for this one, say in-game, this really quick. Let's say you have a partner who's streaming with you, and you don't have an overlay made for them, but you still want to show off your co-caster's flair, his Twitter page, and stuff like that. So you can go to add, and then you can add a text. So we'll just leave it titled like that. Leave all of the font just the same simplicity, and we'll go at hi. You can hit OK, and that shows up here. Now, say you can adjust and scale him as much as you want. You go right click on it under the sources, go to properties, and then you can adjust the color, whatever you wish. Go ahead and make it a little opaque, which sometimes looks a little better. As you can see, over right here on the side, you can see as it changes. Sometimes it's nice to have it a little bit opaque. It's not as harsh then, especially if you are having it on the map. If it's sitting over top of part of the HUD in game, it'll be all right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what those look like in game. I'm going to delete this, delete it, and I'm going to fire up Dota again. Where did that OBS go? There. Property. Yeah, should be fine. Now, the reason why OBS is kind of looking like this is go ahead and just find a live game real quick here. Some team game that is free game. Making sure it's draft stream. Fire that back up. On OBS, get back to me. Yeah. It's gonna look like that. Go to load. There we go. Run for me. This is incredibly embarrassing. Apologize for everybody watching. There we go. Oh, damn it. Draft just ended. That's a little unfortunate. That's why it was hard. Oh well. It'll still know what I want. So you can bring that up and oh, well. So what I'm gonna do so that this, you know what I mean, how it goes through and show the transparency. You have a nice little logo down here. Basic.
30 seconds to showtime.
That's all the overlays really are. So I mean, if you've got it set up for the hotkeys, you would have this one while they're in the lobby, switch to this one when they go to the draft, and then you go lastly this one where they will in game. So you just have that little logo there, and you'll be able to see what I mean about
And they're off.
adding in text over here.
I'll take that shot.
Right click here, add text. That guy. Okay, and then it pops up in the corner here. So say your buddy's there, you want to make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. So properties and here. Set it to 50%. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. 60. So now it shows up, and it doesn't look. That full screen preview mode is messed with running two versions of OBS. I think the reason why I've got this infinite panel going on is because I'm running two versions of OBS, and it doesn't. I don't think the program really likes that. So that's the excuse I'm going to use. But that's how you just set up simple things like that. You can also use GIFs if you want. Just add those as an image. Click browse. Go to GIFs. Looks like no. So that's you can just add in GIFs like that, and they just run as normal images. So if you have any GIFs of maybe a spinning logo that you want to use, or have it just a basic GIF set up with like your tag and then the Twitch logo, and then that's there for 5 seconds, then it cycles to the Dota 2, or sorry, to the Twitter logo, and then cycles back to, I don't know, maybe your YouTube channel or wherever you're posting your VODs or anything like that. You can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove that, as awesome as it is. That as now, as far as doing recordings, all you can, you just hit stop preview. And then you've got a couple other options right here. So you can start the recording just off the bat. That's how I'm doing this. I did not click stream, I just did a local recording. And that's all it does. It just saves to an FLV file in your videos folder right here. As you can see, I've got a couple of videos that I've done. So easy enough to find. And then you can also start the stream. Wait till what I like to do is right at the draft screen, right before, after like the second pick or after like the first pick or something like that, is when I will start do my little introduction, start talking, and start the local recording all at the same time. And it's as simple as when you're streaming, just clicking start recording button like that, and then you'll see a thing here where it says live plus record. Stop stream, and it'll stop. It'll continue recording even if the stream goes down. Stop recording as well. Then that video file you can find the open recordings folder. It'll be right there. That'll be the new one from today. You just have to go through and open them up to see which one they are, and then want to bother for that based off of all of that stuff. Other than that, that's the basics. Now for some stuff on the Dota 2 console command. So I'm gonna leave Dota up in the background now. So if you go Dota, should have. Yeah, here we go. This one. Easy. Just have a list. Here we go. This is it. So this is just gonna look like a whole bunch of random ass stuff. Go ahead and do this. I want to.
Radiant's mid tower could use a
Nope.
hand.
So these are the console commands that you want to be copying and pasting. Now, it might look a little bit hard to deal with, but it's not that bad. So then you can just
Radiant's
go and
mid tower's coming apart.
here.
Radiant's mid tower's getting
And
banged
it'll
up.
bring up this Navi, this site from the, sorry, this page from the Navi website, which goes through in incredible detail about how to set up your computer for the console command. It's very simple to do. You have to go through properties and enable the console, and then when you fire it up, you'll have the ability to input the commands or have a hotkey for it or anything like that. And what this Dota toggle assisted camera operator, what that does, Dota, and make sure it's set to free camera. So even though this is me moving the camera around now. And you can either use the mouse wheel and it kind of goes like that, but then it's hard to click on things. Because you can't click on stuff while mouse wheeling very easily. So you can also use the arrow keys, but sometimes people find that a little bit too jerky, and this is the slowest they'll move when you're set to that. And then I've got edge panning turned off because edge panning is the worst. So lots of people are a little bit, they're worried about their camera. What you can do is you can I have it set to F, and it's the assisted camera. Right now, I'm not doing anything, it's just following that. It'll lock onto a hero, and if there's multiple heroes, like if I click up here, it'll try and get both heroes in the shot as best they can and sit there. So I can zoom out a little bit, but if I zoom in, it's going to pick one. And then you can also fight the camera a little bit to make it move nice and smooth. So you can follow that guy around, back over here, follow Lion. Or if you, like, say you need to adjust something on Twitch chat or OBS and you've got Edge Pen turned off, you can click the Alt tab. But because I'm capturing, that pops up. You can Alt tab and click on something and it'll keep following them. You don't have to worry about that at all. And then you won't, you can keep talking about what you're doing on the screen, but then you won't have to worry about the camera wavering at all. And it also gives it this nice effect of when you jump around from one lane to the other. So if you're taking a look at the minimap, like something might be happening up here. And no, nothing's happening at all. But as you can see, they're just moving around. But if you turn it off, then you just get this, which I'm personally not a big fan of. But when I'm doing camera, I like to have this on because then you can pan nicely to different things and stuff like that. Watch it, adjust the camera as needed, and move on from there. console just, yeah, I've got it set to. But that's going to be it for in Dota 2 for right now. Close that all. This, but again, there's going to be links for both of these sites in the tutorial about, or why can't I think of words? In the tutorial, just little blurb about it, the description. That's the one. Other than that, I hope this was helpful. If you've got any questions, comments, or criticisms, please feel free to let me know on the YouTube channel. Comment on the video if you have any questions or need any help with anything. Let me know what you thought. If it's helpful, guys, please let me know. If it's not, if it's total garbage, do it again. Let me know. I'll try and do better for my next one. But other than that, it's pretty easy to set up. You just got to practice some things, and once you've got it all set up, it's just make sure you have fun casting Dota and streaming it as well. So have a good one, boys, and back later.